Good morning, dearies. Kane here, and welcome to the second episode of the Existence Podcast. And today, we are with Sean.
Hey, everybody.
The beautiful Miles Pernicious.
Hey, aloha.
And an old friend of Existence, Geo Gets Wrecked. Welcome.
Hello there.
And of course me, Sugar Caney. I'll be your host today. And today, it's all about the Better Together update. So, first impressions.
Well, I kind of like the idea of it. I mean, it's, got... I've been able to play with a lot of people that have, Xbox and Pocket Edition that I wasn't able to play with before, but there are still some bugs. I mean, it is a very brand new engine, honestly, and I've experienced a lot of crashes, a lot of, just general stability issues with it.
Yeah, the base, like you said, is a great idea, letting everyone play together. But it's just, it's not ready. It wasn't ready. They introduced it way too quickly. For example, there's a bug where mobs can spawn on top of open fence gates. That's like something very obvious that should have been figured out really easily.
That could be easily abusable for mob traps.
It as you can imagine, it already has been.
Oh wow.
One thing that I've also noticed too is that lighting levels seem to not really affect the mobs as much, and there's an issue with the despawning algorithm or something. I mean, you can go like 128 blocks away from the mobs and then go back and they're still there.
Yeah, it just everyone's like, oh, Java's really buggy, but it's just Java's way more consistent than the Better Together in my edition, the Bedrock edition in my opinion.
Yes, but it has been in development for years, so for me it's no surprise that Java is more stable than the Bedrock version.
Yeah, I mean, the Java version's got like layers upon layers of code to fix various bugs and everything. I'm sure that eventually, the C++, the Bedrock edition will get there, but it will take time.
My personal... go ahead.
Oh yes, I mean, the Java edition is something, even though the code base is worse, it's, like I've heard, it's a terrible code base. But it's these little small things everywhere that have been collected over the past 5-7 years that actually make it as robust as it is right now. Whilst the C++ version is something that they have spent quite some money on, I think, with quite a big development team. And it's just new, so it's hard to... Yeah, they have to build up from scratch, so they cannot think about all the little small details that have been found with the Java edition. So,
How long has it been in development for?
The Bedrock edition?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't know. I do remember that the Pocket edition was there pretty early on.
Yeah, and it's kind of all based off the Pocket Edition version, so they're a while. 2011, I'd say at least.
Yeah, I'm also pretty shocked that so many people play Pocket Edition.
Well, it is cheap.
Yeah, it's
mobile.
way cheaper, and everyone can
Yeah.
play.
Maybe it's just from the old... I'm from the old days. Maybe it's just that, the age gap.
Most likely. My issue with the whole thing isn't the code base or anything like that. It's more the convenience. Like, for example, the controls on Pocket Edition are much different from the Xbox and thus the PC. That's of course something that can't really be changed. I mean, you could probably get some kind of dongle now to remedy that. But I just feel like if you're playing some sort of Hunger Games with someone who's on a PC against a Pocket Edition player, obviously the Pocket Edition player is going to have a massive disadvantage in comparison and almost stand zero chance.
Yeah, like as well, Xbox players, they can only join 3 servers, and that's Mineplex, Lifeboat, and I can't remember the other one, but they are only allowed
In
those 2
PvP.
servers.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's the only 2 servers they're able to join, except for Realms.
well, to be fair, they are working to add more. I mean, I've heard on like a couple of the Minecraft official streams and everything that they do that they're going to be adding. They're working with Hypixel and other big servers right now. I mean, it's not that they're trying to limit it to only 3. It's just that those were the only 3 that they could get working in time for the launch.
But it's not like there is some software like the Java edition where you can just launch up a server for yourself. I mean, that was one of the biggest strengths of Minecraft multiplayer, in my opinion. Like, when I was little, I started a server for myself and a few friends. That's not easily happening with the Better Together update, I think.
So the way it works now is you can launch a server for everybody on your current platform. So like Xbox users can launch a server for other Xbox people to join. Win10 can do the same. I believe Pocket can do the same. You can have others join each other, but the host has to be playing on it at the time.
I believe if this code gets really ironed out or really solidified, then it could make for some quite interesting new SMPs to be brought to life, if that's even possible with this new system.
Yeah, one problem I really have with it at the moment, it's just something that's at me, and I know it'll never be changed, is because there's no server files to make your own server, you're kind of forced into paying for a realm if you want to play with your friends across different platforms.
Yeah, that's the whole trend that's going on. I mean, Microsoft bought it for a few billion.
That's,
Like,
it's
they
true.
want to make money. They want to make some serious cash with this, and it's pretty evident that they are going that direction.
They wouldn't invest such ridiculous, astounding amounts if they weren't actually intending to money grab off of it.
Well, yeah, that's pretty true. But the only problem is that there's only like 3 different realms, and all that's different is the player size. The performance is the exact same.
I think it's actually only 2. You can get either 2 players or 10 players on it.
Yeah, actually, that sounds more correct. Yeah, it's just 10 players. We're not going to find many SMPs very soon on it, I'd say.
Well, it's also concurrent players. You can have, like, I forget what the upper limit on the invite list is, but it's only 10 concurrently playing.
Then it's pretty reasonable, I mean.
But imagine if only 10 people could play at once on Existence. Now, I know it's not. There's never really 10 people on at once. But what about big, like, community things? We couldn't do them.
No, definitely not. And if you want to get a group of friends to just play some stuff together for one time, and you've also got the thing that the Bedrock servers are incompatible with the Java servers because they use a completely different packet system. So it's like impossible for the Java edition to interoperate with the rest. It's like a completely separate version, which actually I'm not really fond of.
Actually, no. I actually think it's nearly better for us. Like the Bedrock edition, while it is good and all, Java will always get the better modding support and all this that the Bedrock edition will never get.
Yeah, that's true. But then you don't have your mods for your Bedrock edition. You only have them at the Java edition, which is, I think, at least I've got the feeling that it is slowly dying, especially if the newer generations grows up with the Bedrock edition. It's the kids these days that grow up with what we have right now.
Well, I saw this number. It was something like 2 million copies of Java edition sold in the past 9 months, bringing the total Java accounts to like 27 million or something like that. So I wouldn't really say it's dying. I think that focus is being shifted, at least from the Mojang development team, to a different area right now.
Yeah, like let's say the big SMPs like Hermitcraft and Minecraft, they're still on Java. And while there's still big SMPs on Java, Java is not going to die out. There'll still be players. A good loss of that.
It won't really die, but it will. I think its popularity will decline.
And let's say if development for the Java edition stops, that just leaves modders with a great platform that they know won't be changed. So they're going to put a lot of time into it. Like we could end up with multi-core Minecraft. Which, as you know, will be very, very fast. Very
revolutionary.
Oh, but it's so hard to program. Multi-threading is just a pain. It's the worst.
That's why no one's doing it now, because every version they'd have to update it, and that would be, like you said, a pain.
Mm-hmm.
the pros of the Bedrock Edition. I guess all we've been saying were all the bad things. We haven't really said any good things.
Yeah, the best thing is just it's blazingly fast. It is, I think, more future-proof because of a better code base, which is, I hope, better engineered from the start. And everyone can play together, and it's on all different platforms. You can play it everywhere, literally.
With a little bit of optimization and ironing out, again, this could be a fantastic platform for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, add-ons even. Yeah, give a lot of flexibility to play how you want because it's really easy to make an add-on.
I don't know. What's an add-on exactly with the?
It's literally you can edit the code of Minecraft, and I think you can like add new mobs and stuff. I'm not completely sure, but it's like a mod. It's like Forge except better.
But they do provide a sufficiently fleshed out API in order to be able to do everything you want.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. You have it.
Oh, that's pretty interesting, actually. If that's the case, I'm really curious what the what models are going to do. Are they going to focus on Bedrock or on Java?
Well, obviously different programming language, but so the only problem is it's not as in depth. I don't think you can add like new blocks and stuff using add-ons.
That's what I mean. Can you hook into everything you want or not?
Not
if
yet.
That's not the case.
There might be a plan to do that, but not yet.
It will be hard to make a decent interface, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Are there more? Do you have more advantages of the Bed Together update?
Well,
besides it just being fast and you can play together.
Well, they do have these tiny, subtle features. Like, for example, there's fallen spruce trees and white tigers look completely white. And although that's an absolutely tiny addition or tiny additions, I feel like it just adds a bit of authenticity to the Bedrock edition specifically, makes it have a little tad bit of uniqueness in comparison to the Java edition.
But should they be unique?
Yeah, I think it should. It should be unique. It's not the Java edition. This is a different version. I think this should be unique of it.
I think that they're trying to get it to be uniform across all platforms. I mean, even the Java edition, I think they want to have like a consistent Minecraft look and feel and everything. I don't necessarily know that everything's intentionally different right now. It's just that they've gotten something, all those features that you just talked about into Bedrock before they have gotten them into Java.
I think it was the other way around, even.
Yeah.
They can use Java more as an experimental product where they can test everything before they're going to push it to Bedrock. But that's things I've heard and read.
Well, that's the way it's been doing because, the main Minecraft development has been going on in the Java edition for, forever, honestly. But, there have been features that have come from Pocket Edition, for example, the observer blocks, that have made their way into Java and everything. So I think it's really just, there's two different teams going on right now. They're both trying to push development of Minecraft, and at some point they might merge up. I don't actually know.
One of the things one reason I'll never probably move to Bedrock Edition, but you probably already figured this, technical side of it is completely different. So let's say, for example, the way Minecraft runs on 20 game ticks, as in 20 operations a second, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's the same on Pocket Edition for everything except redstone components, which run on a 10 game ticks a second.
Oh, so they have removed the half tick, basically, with the redstone, no? With the, how do you call those circuits? Those very fast ones.
Clocks?
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's the 0 ticks.
Oh, I know the term, but it's been years since I've done some redstone. It was a monostable circuit or something? Was that what it's called?
Oh, you mean for
I
like
know.
Falling
yeah,
Edge?
You can't.
Just a thing that produces half the time of a normal redstone tick. Just a game tick.
Yeah, just like
The
a
one that
Falling
spits
Edge,
out to the
or
block.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like when you place
It
a
is
redstone
unstable.
torch on a redstone block, that signal length, like one game
Yeah.
tick.
That not be reproduced in Bedrock, because in Bedrock Edition everything happens every 2 game ticks instead of every game tick. So if you activate 2 pistons when there should be a game tick of delay between them, they just both activate at the same time. And pistons can never drop their blocks. Sticky pistons can never drop their blocks. So
That in
it's
itself
different.
is
Yeah.
quite a useful thing.
Yeah.
But that makes me wonder what.
So I haven't played too
Made
much with the
them
redstone in Better Together yet. However, I'm sure that, maybe not every single thing can be done, but a lot of things should be able to be done in Bedrock anyway. People will find ways to do them. The one thing that I do know that's not really doable right now, except for using maybe some keyboard macros and stuff like that, and only on Win 10, is fishing farms. AFK fishing farms have been completely nerfed because the fishing bobber no longer triggers the tripwire hooks.
Well, fish farms, they're not really fair, so
I mean, I use and abuse them. Admittedly.
Oh, I'm not saying that it's a bad change. I mean, it's definitely a very OP thing. It seems like on Java Edition right now, the beginning part of the game is you make a house and then you make a fishing farm. And then, that you're pretty much geared up.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
always disliked the beginning stages of Minecraft, though. I've been an endgame type of person, so
I'm the exact opposite. I love the early game. Once there's farms, my complete drive to play is over because I like to gather all kinds of materials. I'm an explorer in this game. So then it's just the fun is just over and I just have to build stuff.
Well, you could always just move places and just start from scratch in different places.
Yeah, but then you still have some gear you used to have and it's not the same.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like if you have the gear in the world and you move, then you're sort of cheating yourself by not bringing it along. I mean, you can do it, sure, but I agree with Kaney, it's different.
Yeah, why use the same world? Why not just create a new one?
Yeah. One thing actually is the game has been focusing a lot on end game at the moment, right? So with shulker boxes, the last boss we had was Wither. I don't know, you know what I mean? Loads of different things like that. Things
Elytra,
you wouldn't
yeah.
really encounter early game. But the early game really needs to be changed. It's way too easy.
I disagree on that, actually. Because the first nights are the hardest nights of the whole game, especially when you only have to survive on a shield and an iron sword.
Well, yeah, exactly. Now we have shields. It's so easy to survive. All you have to do is hold up your shield and take no damage.
Well, that was not my experience when I first used the
You take
shield.
yeah, you take damage from behind if you're getting shot from both sides.
Yes, you're basically dead.
I feel
Skeleton
like
can cool down.
after the first few nights, the difficulty really is up to the player. For example, if they choose to do a really challenging thing, that's up to them. But they don't do that if they don't want to.
Yeah, I just feel the game is really easy now. Early game. The shield, especially. That was the only early game thing that was added recently. And it just made the game easier.
Just play without shields.
I have to totally agree with that. For example, in UHCs, creepers are no longer the problem, or no longer a problem unless they come up right behind you without any sounds.
Yeah, but with
I
all
just
this
think it's
end
easy.
game talk, we just get more powerful items. We got the Elytra, we got the shulker box, and who knows what's coming next. But we have items like minecarts are getting completely useless.
Yeah,
just because of all other options.
that is something that I wish we would bring
minecarts
back.
are just chess minecarts are useless. They were used before shulker boxes to mass transport items, and now their complete use is gone.
It's not
Diamond
gone. It's
rail.
just it's not really gone. It's just not as efficient or whatever. And everybody's all about efficiency.
There's no. It's really like the least favorite option. Like now, these are the options really for fast travel. You could either make a really complicated redstone circuit to make you travel at like 30 blocks a second is like the max at the moment, right? Or you could place down some ice and go along it on a boat. Takes no effort and sightseeing or anything. And the other way is just flying with an elytra.
Yes.
There's no reason to make cool railway systems anymore.
Well, actually, I do remember a few updates back when they introduced the faster minecarts in a snapshot, and that was actually something that everybody liked, but
Oh, yeah, and
the
they can
engine
fall
just
off
couldn't
tracks.
handle it. So I'm actually wondering, is it returning in the Bedrock edition or not? Because that's a better engine.
I don't actually think I've tested the minecarts in Better Together, but I do remember. So I used to play on console a lot. Before I actually got Java, I was more of a console player, and I remember the minecarts being way faster there on just the pre-Bedrock console editions.
There's actually been actually in the Bedrock edition they removed the furnace minecart.
Ah, rip furnace minecart.
Yeah,
The thing that was even useless back in the days.
It's a cool item. Like
It is cool, but
did you know it can latch onto other minecarts and pull them along?
yes, you've shown me that.
Yeah, I've
That's
shown you that,
actually
yeah.
amazing.
There's some really cool things about it that like nobody knows because they don't use them. I've never
Yes,
used it
But
really.
they're just too manual. Like you have to constantly right-click it to keep it going. And
You
it
just need to
doesn't
stack it
seem
with
practical.
you just need to put
Blaze rods.
blaze rods or blocks of coal or something in there.
But even then, if you just use normal coal items, it just seems that it runs
No.
out of coal so fast.
Yeah, but I mean coal blocks.
Yeah, coal blocks, I know, but I tested it with coal and it just didn't compare to the furnace cook time, so it was a bit,
It's
booked
kind of
out.
outdated, really, to be honest. I think the furnace minecart needs an update, but it can go forever. There is a ways to make it just go forever and keep pulling the carts without any right clicking.
You need like
What would you like?
you need minecarts with furnaces with hoppers on top of them.
No, it's like I think if you put two furnace minecarts inside each other, and you get one of them to go, you just right click one of them. They'll keep pushing each other, and they'll keep going at the constant speed.
Like, if they could just act as just normal locomotives, that you can start a train with them, or that that they just act as a normal furnace, where you can just put the fuel in there, and you don't have to worry about refueling all the time.
Well, you could probably set up like an automated train system where you just literally have, a line of hoppers just pointing downwards on top of a track, and as soon as the hopper minecart, the furnace minecart
Ooh.
travels underneath the hoppers, it'll just automatically get refueled.
Sorry to burst your bubble there, but like I said, furnace minecart's outdated. It doesn't take items from hoppers.
Oh, it doesn't even do that? Wow.
Ah,
No, it's that outdated.
Oh god.
I thought I could
But that would
sense
be
the
awesome.
light bulb igniting in Sean's head then.
It'd be a really, really cool idea, but it just doesn't work, sadly.
Yeah, but then you can have real subway systems.
Yeah, like I can imagine something really cool where, the way a lever changes the direction in which a
Yeah.
rail is moving. You could have it so you go in one way, you pick up like a bunch of minecart chests with the furnace minecart, and off the other way with them. It'd be way cooler than just picking up a bunch of shulker boxes, driving off with a boat on packed ice.
We need to forward this to Mojang.
Yeah, that's what we
Just
need.
post it in Micro Suggestions Reddit and see how much you'll get upvoted. But yeah, another big change that has been introduced is, of course, the marketplace. The most controversial point, probably, is
I
the
don't. I
marketplace.
think we all have beef with that.
Clash of Clans,
Pay to win, probably.
kind of. it's kind of everything. I think got the inspiration from that to do this. What I'm about to explain. In the marketplace, everything it's like the coins. Everything is in coins. Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Correct.
first thing it does is it kind of it distances your payment from actual money, and it doesn't really feel like you're paying with money.
Yes, that's one of the biggest tricks used in pay-to-play or pay-to-win software. Those Android apps.
The
Like crappy
next
software.
problem is, let's say texture packs are a texture pack is 300 coins, right? I'm pretty sure the lowest you can buy is 399 coins, which is a really random amount that you'll never use the very bottom of it.
But even then, it's all so expensive. I've seen the prices, but you have to. I think 300 coins. That's like €7 or €8, which is $6-7.
I'm not sure exactly, but it's
I,
just,
I wouldn't pay that for a texture pack, honestly.
especially
think
since you can still get free ones.
I think the biggest problem is children, like little children. I mean, people like us, we would obviously turn off at that, say, no, we're not buying this. But little children, they would eat that stuff up. They would get their mum to purchase this thing, and their parents would be like, oh, well, this is obviously a good thing. Let's invest our hard-earned cash into this thing that we don't even know, and it's literally just something that's going to just change the cosmetic of the game.
It's crazy. I don't like it, and also the name of them, mine coins.
Yeah,
Like-
just what?
Couldn't they just call it emeralds or something, or just something
Yeah,
something fun? But oh,
Cringe
I mean-
levels through the atmosphere.
Then you'd run into people saying, hey, I spent actual money and they didn't give me any emeralds mailed to my desk to set onto my ring.
yeah. Yeah,
oh.
but
I don't know. I'm getting a bit mad of it, and I've looked it up right now. 300 coins is roughly €2.
not too expensive. But it's still like money. You know what I mean? Money that you
Yeah.
shouldn't have to pay for a resource pack.
That's still
No.
real money.
It's real money, definitely.
What was it
And-
on like the old console? I think it was just like $2 for a texture pack or something like that. So it seems like it's more expensive, yeah.
Yeah, it's 310, roughly. So that is like €2 for a texture pack, and like €6-7 for an adventure map, which is also insane, I think.
An adventure
Yeah.
map. Jeez.
Yes,
Wow.
you can also buy these. You can buy everything, and they promote it as like you can support your favorite map making creators. But I'm afraid that this will lead to more commercial practices instead of just making a map because you want to make a map.
Yeah, well, I think I agree with wanting to support the creators, but couldn't that be done by just popular creators putting ads in their maps?
Oh, that's even worse, I think.
I don't.
Or
think-
better
I
yet,
don't know.
use
You
a
don't have to pay
Patreon.
them.
You don't want to have ads in your professional product. At least I wouldn't.
Well, you could just put a sign. Thanks to whoever for promoting or for supporting me building this map or something. Like, I prefer it to having to pay.
Yeah, I mean, you do get quality maps. That's something you're sure of. You have quality assurance. But
Yeah,
even then,
And on Java, you have quality assurance of good maps.
yeah, but then those €7 are better spent on the creators themselves than on Microsoft, in my eyes.
No, I'm pretty sure it's like did Microsoft get the majority of it.
Yeah, which is weird because like
Yeah,
the
that's
creators
just
make
scum.
everything. Microsoft just provides their platform.
I
That's
feel
one I
like
think-
it should be a very small cut at the least. But taking most of the revenue, they worked to build that. Yes, they should get money, but I feel like, again, a Patreon would make sure that the right amount of money would actually go to the creator rather than just Microsoft's money-making scheme.
I think the main issue that people have with that is you need to direct people away from the game in order to get people to spend money there.
Mm.
I mean, there are people willing to do that, but it is kind of a tough sell to tell people, hey, leave us alone, go do something else, and then come back.
Actually, is there a... Sean, do you know if there's a way for a downloadable texture map, adventure map, so you can just download the world and play it?
You
Is that
can
possible?
on Pocket Edition Android anyway. Not sure about iOS or Windows 10 Edition. Definitely not the Xbox or NetWin.
Because if even that's impossible, then you just destroy the creativity from the community.
Or it's just the Android.
Yeah. I don't know enough about this, honestly. But I'm worried.
There probably is a way. You can change your skins from the Win 10 edition. I would be kind of surprised if you couldn't just throw a map in or whatever into your map files there.
Yeah, you can have your custom resource packs. That's possible. Though I think worlds should be possible too.
I think they are. I mean, you can download maps in some way. I mean, I'm able to download realms directly into my single player. So you'd think it's possible somehow.
Well, the only problem then is, why make your map and put it up for free when you can make a map and sell it and make money?
Because
You know what I mean? It's
Microsoft
just kinda-
wants to make sure that it's quality or something. I think there is some quality control in there, so that's a positive, but like they are pretty expensive.
But what I'm saying is, why bother making a map free now?
Well, yeah,
Passion?
I think what Kaney is saying is that they're not just going to throw every single map up into the marketplace. You're going to have to make it up to a certain level of quality, and if whoever the gatekeepers are say that it's not up to par, you just won't get it on there. I mean, you can try and
I
get a
know
map,
that.
but I mean, there's going to be way too many maps if everybody's doing map making. They're going to have some maps that are not going to make it up there. I mean, that's just the way it is. They can't pick everything.
It could reap some benefits. I mean, if they're aiming for quality, these people are going to aim to make money, and thus they're going to try and make these super high quality, awesome maps. Although you may have to pay for them, it may make some more better maps in the community, if that makes sense. Because people are trying to reach that standard.
Yes, unless that standard is unreachable unless you have a build team.
That can be.
So in you make it actually quite elitist to make maps like that. If you have to have such a quality for a map that you cannot have it as a passion project, that you need a giant team to do it.
Yeah. Have you seen Jeracraft?
I haven't.
He does crazy massive builds, and he does them all completely on his own. And so it is entirely possible with tools such as Voxel Sniper and World Edit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing that I'm thinking about this is, let's say the marketplace existed on Java 6 years ago. Would we have seen maps like the walls? Let me think. Shulker. What's the Shulker one thingy that's on Realms at the moment?
I don't know.
But let's see. Walls, any of Hypixel's adventure maps. What's it? TNT Wars. You know, the one where the TNT flying machines.
Yeah.
Probably some of the maps by some known creators.
That's we said playing in Cube Hamster, and a lot of those maps we wouldn't have seen if there was a marketplace.
That's very true.
Maybe. I don't know. I just dislike capitalism in general, so I'm a bit biased here. But yeah, it has some positive sides indeed. Like, you've got your quality, you can support your creators and Microsoft, but in general, I think, especially like you're working with kids and you're even abstracting money, I think that's pretty hurtful.
Well, I mean, on some level, you have to do that. I mean, they are selling the games. They do have to buy the games. And it's not like they're being forced to buy the add-ons. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, they aren't forced to buy the game either.
No, if that's going to happen, then they have a problem, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
But-
Like, they're not forced to buy the add-ons, but neither are they forced to buy the game. First they buy the game, then they have to pay for more extra inside the game.
Okay,
Yeah, I just
So-
don't really like it, as you can imagine.
that was the Bedrock edition for now. I would like to move on to the new textures for Minecraft 1.13. They have been retexturing quite a lot of textures, and I think they look a little bit too smooth.
From what I've heard, it's basically every texture in the game that they're redoing.
Yes, quite literally.
Yes.
I like them. I think they're nice.
I feel like they're different, but I feel like if I practiced a little bit, I could be able to integrate that into my builds. But my only concern is how past builds would look.
I don't think that will
but
change too much, honestly.
Yeah, the texture hasn't changed that much.
So the colors still work, the structure still works, and
Yeah.
also the relief. I don't know.
The only thing that's really changing is how busy the textures really look. I mean, they're just smoothing them out and giving a little bit of extra detail to some, but I don't really think they're changing the palette too much.
Not
And-
really.
No,
Like,
the palette is the same.
The one thing that I will say is that no matter what the 1.13 textures are, I'm sure that there will be like a legacy texture pack or something that people will.
Oh,
Put out, so-
definitely.
well, let's literally just go back to the last version, download the assets file, take out the textures, and there you have it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
that's it, I feel like that would be like the new equivalent of Faithful.
Yeah. The problem will be, again, coming back to Bedrock Edition, is they're going to end up selling the old default texture pack.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be no. I do think it's good that they redo some textures to make it a bit better. Progress, yay!
I mean,
But-
their art style has kind of changed over time. So I feel like this would help sort of make those uniform, make them seem like part of the same game. Even though I feel like they integrated fairly well to begin with, I do feel like it could benefit from this.
the one
But I
thing that
do love the new sand.
the one thing that I do think is kind of weird too is that they're going to be retexturing all the blocks that they just literally brought in to the game.
They're
Yeah.
not retexturing terracotta, I don't think. They're the glazed terracotta, I mean.
I can't imagine concrete will go for a big change. Maybe a little bit. It's literally just flat color with a little bit of noise in it.
Yeah, supposedly they're retexturing every single texture.
I'm
Yeah,
not so-
I
I'm
think
not
it
really
looks.
opposed
I
to
think
it.
it looks really nice.
Especially if everything gets retextured, it's like in one theme, one style.
It's like playing Minecraft again for the first time, really.
Maybe not
I
quite that
guess.
far, but
But
Yeah, I do have one worry, and that is the cobblestone. I've seen it a few weeks ago when they introduced it, and I saw it, and at first I was like, "Whoa, that looks pretty nice," but now I look at this picture and it's just too smooth.
he's not
I-
happy at it.
I like the original cobblestone.
Yeah, the cobblestone thing was very controversial. Let me just see if I can find an image of it.
yeah, the diamond block one was pretty weird too.
Yeah, but I
Although they
can't
don't really
find it.
use those for building, really.
Well, yeah, the diamond block one is now actually better for building.
Is it?
Yes.
Same with the emerald block. Like, they were both just kind of weird things that stand out.
Which is plain and boring, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing really special.
The
Like the
cobblestone,
lapis
yeah.
block, what used to be.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna post it in here. The viewers won't be able to see it, but we can get a bit of a reference here of what we're talking about.
Oh, the mossy cobble is fantastic. The
I think-
color is
yeah.
spot on, and I think there's been loads of praise in the community about that. I'm just so glad they're going through with this because the current moss is just too blue.
In my personal opinion, all the new blocks look pretty nice, like beautiful. Because Jasper is really listening to the community on this.
Oh
So,
yes,
so if
definitely.
somebody's kind of annoyed at something, like for example, a good example of this would be the cobblestone, which looked horrible at first. He was like, "Okay, I'm going to change this," and then resulted with this beautiful mossy cobble and the beautiful regular cobble.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice looking. The skeletons as well. It's nice for them to have a new look, and they actually look like more skeletons now.
Mm-hmm. Also, the planks. That's something also I've seen now. Is that I think the planks are too smooth.
I don't think they are. I
They
think
look a
it's
bit
nice.
too rounded, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Too rounded.
I guess.
Although they
No, I
do
don't know.
have their kind of charm to it.
The
Yes,
only
they do. But
like literally the only the only difference is it's just the old texture blurred a bit. Really, that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, they got rid of
yeah,
a bit
I
of the
know.
extra noise.
Well, it's still there, but they have reduced it.
Yeah, it's blended in more.
I think they can, if they just bump it up a little bit to give it a bit more of an authentic feel, like you're really seeing wood. I think you have something pretty, because now it just looks like a flooring, honestly.
It looks pretty modern
Yeah, I'm not really fond of it.
instead of the old gritty look that we previously had.
Yeah, one of my favorite pictures for sure, or one of my favorite textures, is the new jungle door. It actually looks
wow.
nice now.
It's
really
it's
nice.
fantastic. Also, mind the cauldron.
The cauldron, yeah, I think that's really cool as
It's finally a real cauldron.
And the flowers actually
Yeah,
look
the
like real
dandelion.
flowers.
Also, have you noticed the oak leaves that have changed?
Yeah, they have a small bit.
It's amazing. Now they're like more like oak leaves, like real oak leaves. And the birch leaves stay, so this texture is still there, but in the form of birch leaves. But you've now
Wow.
got these more oaky oak leaves. I love it.
They look beautiful.
I think this new textures is definitely good for the game. It gives a refreshing thing for it's. I think if the game needs it, to be honest.
Yeah.
The new sand looks really soft.
Yes, it does. And I like it.
And it actually looks like Sahara Desert sand, for example.
I mean, now it's not that harsh to your eyes,
Yeah.
which shouldn't because it's sand. If
Sand
you
is
can compare it with the cacti.
In
It's-
concept, it's grainy, but it's a soft thing if you look at it from afar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the sand looks really nice as well. The cactus now actually looks like a cactus when it's stacked on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And also the hay bales.
They
Cave
finally
spider
actually
looks-
made them hay.
They got rid of the orange bands, and I like it.
Before that it was literally straw. Now it's actually kind of more hay.
Yes, they
Yeah,
definitely
there's a
do look
difference
more
if
like
you're
this hay,
wondering.
yeah.
I feel like hay or hay bales beforehand weren't a very usable block for building previously. Like the orange band just made it so it didn't really work well for thatch roofs, but now it seems to be a perfect block for that.
Yeah, that as well. The end rod, he made the bottom of the end rod grey so that it'll work with everything.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, I have to see that. I don't have a picture of that.
Yeah, there's no picture of it here, but he has changed it. He commented on it on Twitter. Jasper did, so that's pretty good.
The chorus flower looks great.
The chorus flower, yeah? It's
and
not
the
changed that
endstone
much.
too. The endstone, although it is slightly subtle,
Yes,
it's softer. Yeah.
end stone is inverted cobblestone, so it has the same
Yeah.
texture as the cobblestone,
Oh,
but
yeah.
with a different color. Same goes with the glowstone, by the way, which is also way better because the old glowstone was just too sharp in the eye, if you know what I mean, too bright, or I don't know exactly what it is, but the newer, smoother version is just way better.
in general, the one that's most controversial, I'd say, is Diamond Block. And to be honest, I don't see why people are angry with that, because it's not like any any builders would be using it as a primary building block anytime soon, especially in survival.
No, I think its use as gemstone is way better with the new texture.
Yeah, it actually looks like a gemstone rather than just a block.
An iron block.
Yeah.
One thing actually we haven't seen is, are items going to be retextured?
Oh, that's interesting.
I believe they are.
I've seen
Literally
props.
every texture in the game, they said.
It's just
And
going to take time, but
It will. And
bring
I recall seeing a tweet or something like that confirming that they were going to do entities and items and everything like that too. So
Like, weren't beds retextured? Oh no, they're on 3D now. That's me one update behind.
yeah, they added the 3D leg models.
Cool. So that's the new textures. I'm excited for it, honestly.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
curious what people are going to do with them.
Duo.
yeah, honestly, as exciting as the new textures are, I'm excited for the back end changes in 1.14.
Yeah.
1.13 just breaks everything again.
Probably,
Like every
but
update ever.
yeah.
Oh no, definitely. They break everything. It's just the order of the command arguments change with commands, and you just have to update everything again.
I'm more referencing how the community reacts to the various updates. Like, people in 1.9 were like, "Oh my god, this breaks the game. People can't PvP anymore." And same goes for what was it, 1.12 when Terracotta came out. So they were like, "Ew, I hate it. It's disgusting. Get rid of it."
But that goes for all progress in life, on all different kind. People just don't like progress for some reason.
Yeah, they just don't like. It's not progress. They don't like change. Progress you get over, but change people just don't
But
like
you cannot have
change.
progress without change.
I
Exactly, that's
kind of
the problem.
understand the combat updates, but Terracotta, you don't even have to look at it. You can just avoid it for all you
That's true.
care.
I've never used it before. I probably shoot
For
in
example,
next episode, but
what's the super ugly block? Netherrack. You don't have to use that.
Well, it is in the Nether, but you know what I mean.
It's a prominent
Oh.
block in the Nether, but it actually fits for that purpose.
I always used to use nether blocks for making traps because I just put a random nether block in somebody's house and they just had to remove it because it was so ugly. And then I just set up some TNT. It's that simple.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's a fantastic trap. But that's, I think, everything we know about the new update, besides technical things.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll just take the changelog with it, but it just seems all technical stuff with commands and data packs and whatever.
Well, let's fingers crossed. They're going to change water and lava, not interact with random tick speed anymore.
Ooh.
That was in the snapshot, but they changed it back because they couldn't be bothered to make it so that when water or lava generates.
Yeah, that would
And-
fix smoothstone generators.
Yeah. Ooh.
Actually,
And they introduce a new horse model.
What?
Fantastic. Yeah, you haven't heard of it. I haven't either. I mean, I just looked at the wiki and I see that they update the horse model to be more like the other models.
oh, right.
It's not that big of a difference if I see the promo image at the update blog, but
Is this anything prominent or at least somewhat noticeable?
it's a bit less chubby.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it looks like more or less exactly the same.
Like for the 3D bed legs, I didn't even realize until you said it out loud here. And I was like, oh yeah, they are 3D, aren't they?
These updates are the best updates.
The ones that you don't even realize until
Yeah,
someone
until
tells
3
you.
updates later. Those are the amazing things.
That's a nice. I like that horse model. It's not bad.
Yeah,
It
it's
needs to be so many reference pictures, or else everyone would be so lost.
Microsoft is also doing good things, not just bad things.
Yeah,
Well,
then
I wouldn't call this Microsoft. Whatever.
It's Microsoft. Everything is Microsoft. Oh.
Mostly Mojang themselves bidding,
I
although
don't think Microsoft went to them. Okay, right. What I want you to work on today is a new horse model.
it's mostly up to them. Up
Bill
to
Gates just
Mojang.
comes in the door. I want a
Still
new
the-
horse model.
Still the richest guy on earth.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft do have authority over them, but I would assume that they don't really care what updates they make as long as it doesn't affect their personal representation.
Oh, they just have a separate team working on Minecraft at Mojang. So
Yeah.
they just work on it themselves. So that's enough Minecraft talk. I think it's almost time to end, but we have Sean and Duo who live very unfortunately on an island at the coast of Europe, and there's a storm coming, isn't there?
There
Luckily,
is.
I don't think it's anywhere near me.
There is a storm after the one that we at the start of this week, which is what the week of the 20th. So I think it was the 15th. We had a storm, Storm Ophelia, it was called,
Yeah.
and it battered Ireland. There was like 30,000 people or 30,000 homes without power.
That sounds awful. Like I was in a pretty safe spot. I'm in the southeast of England, and what we got a pretty interesting thing. The sun went bright red, and the sky around us was like this kind of doomsday color. It was kind of spooky. It was trending on Twitter as well, around where I live.
But
Very
yeah,
strange.
storms not fun.
I think it was sand blown in from the Sahara and the Azores.
Oh yeah, we also noticed that here. Not that we have storms, but we could see a beautiful red sun. You could just look right into it without hurting your eyes, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I was in art class at the time, and people were like, "Oh my god, that looks insane!" And they were running outside of our art classroom just to take a photo.
Oh, rightfully so. These are the things you only experience a few times in your lifetime.
Yeah, not every day that there's a heavy storm. Not so only in the British Isles, but yeah.
Well, the storm is only at the British Isles.
Yeah, but we almost never get any crazy weather things like that here. We get the miserable rain, but nothing in comparison to that.
Yeah, then two storms in the same week.
Yes, and normally it's just America something. They have some storms, and we're all fine, and everything is good here. But yeah, also
You're kind of out the way, really.
theoretically, our country has also been hit by a storm a little while back at the Caribbean. I mean, we have some overseas territories around the coast of South America.
We have
And-
Montserrat in the UK.
Yeah, they have been hit pretty hard. So we've had some news with a military helping there recover everything, and it's weird to follow. Just
Yeah, I just hope that because
final
people
result
aren't.
of
I just hope that with
empire.
people aren't. Yeah, with people not used to storms and everything, I just hope that they can all stay safe.
Yeah, I hope so too. Is it too bad, Sean?
What do you mean?
Is it extremely bad? Is there loads of destruction, or is it just?
Well, no, not really. Almost every single house in Ireland is like a concrete house, so
Just
it's
a bit
different
of
in
power
America.
cutting.
So everything will just be fine. We don't have to worry about you.
That's fun.
Okay, well, that's it, I think. We have been talking for almost an hour now. So I
Wow.
think it's time to wrap it up.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I could be talking
no,
for
it does
ages.
not.
So, Sean, do you have some last words?
Have fun. I don't know. You're gonna put me on the spot here.
Mm-hmm. Gio, do you have something to say?
The end is nigh.
Oh wait,
Wow.
I have something to say. Thanks, Duo, for joining us in this podcast.
Yes, definitely. It's been a few weeks, but it's just fun to have you around again.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
I'm missing you still.
I'm missing Existence still.
Ooh, don't say that to your Waystone guys.
Yeah.
Oh, they should be fine with it. I
Yeah.
get it. So, Miles,
Just again, thanks to Duo for stopping by with us, for chatting with us, and thank you, Kaney, for hosting us.
no problem. I'll do it anytime if you need me. And also thank you three for having been here. And yeah, just one last notice. I'm the first non-native English speaker on this podcast.
Oh yeah, and special thanks to Patrick for giving me the spot on here.
Oh yeah. He is not here today. We're doing it ourselves this time.
Yeah.
You have been missed, Patrick. So for everyone watching this, listening to this, or doing whatever to this that they do, I don't want to know that. You can keep that to yourself. I wish you all a very good night, or morning, or afternoon. I
Good
don't
day.
care. Just have a good day and sleep well. Sleep is important. Just as drinking water is also very important. Don't forget to check out the channels. Links will be in the description down below. Don't forget to also put Gio's link there. And who was that? What was that? Was that dog?
Yeah, that was a dog. I didn't think you could pick it up. I didn't think the mic was picking it up.
Oh, little papa here. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Until
See ya.
next month.